Hello, hello, everyone! So here we are at the Orc campaign finale. This is the one I end up kind of liking the most because everybody's got this hullabaloo about the Titan, and Gorgutz shows up. He couldn't give less of a crap. Like we saw at the end of the last episode where he says, "I'm going to pound it into scrap." I mean, he's not entirely right about that in the context of this mission, but he's pretty close. It's really fun to watch it used as an ornament rather than the MacGuffin. And joining with me as we look at this ornament making.
Yeah, hey everybody, it's the last drop. Okay, I also enjoy this mission. I always try to do it last when I play all of the missions for Winter Assault because it's the most cathartic of all of them. After all the bullshit you deal with when it comes to that Titan.
Yeah, so anybody remember like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe? Because it's basically gonna be Gorgutz kills the Warhammer 40k universe, which is pretty much exactly as cathartic. So yeah, let's get on in there.
Let's see. The war is going good, but there's something missing. More skulls? That's it, see? I got me the skulls of all the war bosses I killed. Stern skull and that Farseer skull. So who are missing? Oh yeah, that Git Kroll. I need his head for me pointy stick. And you know how I'm getting him to come after me? You're gonna call him a grot? We'll call that plan stupid. I named it after you. No, the way to get Kroll crazy mad is to attack his Titan. Then he'll come for me. Hey, why's you grinning? Because you named a plan after me!
I love that so much. And again, I somehow never noticed it until doing this Let's Play that he carries that fucking stick around. I'm always like looking at him and looking at what's on his back.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I didn't notice until we did this Let's Play, or rather, I forgot about it until we came back. I'll point it out a little bit later, but there's one particular thing that has to do with the Killicans that I never remember seeing when I was younger playing this game, but it's so adorable when I remember it.
I love the mega armored knob. Just you know, play it off to me.
Moving out.
What? His plan too. You gotta call him a grot. I mean, with Kroll it probably would work, but
that's because Kroll was about as stupid as the mega armored knob that he's calling stupid.
Mm-hmm. He's hilariously easily provocable.
You gotta call him a grot. I love how direct that friggin' line came off as well. It's just like he knew exactly what he was there for, and he grabbed it with both hands.
You's a pretty mouthy one, ain't ya?
So we got one or two things we need to accomplish before we get on to the main business of the day.
Yumis are scattered, but they still got some fight in them. They deserve a battle all good and proper. Time to kill these Yumis quick, so we can take our time with that too big. Find and kill the remaining Imperials.
Yep. So first thing we gotta deal with is the scattered Imperial Guards that'll routinely spawn dudes to come and bother you.
Yep, they do launch harassing attacks, and they're going to continue to keep up harassing attacks even after you get rid of these. The deceptive thing is that the Kasserkin squads in there are actually pretty effective against even the mega armored knobs. So if you put forward anything except Gorgutz, you're gonna take a substantial amount of damage, and since much like the last mission, you do need pretty much your entire nest egg to build a decent base of operations. that like taking losses early on can hurt a lot.
Yeah, they pretty much expect you to have it down to a science by this point of being ready to weather a storm rolling on you. And I mean, and ultimately, you're not the only one fighting with them. I think Chaos will be fighting against the Imperial forces.
Yeah,
as well,
Chaos is gonna be crashing up against the Imperial positions this entire time, and you're basically going to be incredibly orky by showing up and being the outrageously annoying third man in the room. Like you're just gonna come up and start screaming, and then everybody's gonna be like, "Why is that guy screaming so much?" And then you're gonna just be like, "I'm screaming some more," and then everybody's gonna walk away because you're screaming so much. And then when they start walking away, you punch them in the back of the head.
That's what Gorgutz does best in most of his appearances. He is this incredible wrench in everybody's plans. He just turns up. There might be like in Dark Crusade. He's in Dark Crusade. The Tau rule Cronus, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, we've got this feral population of orcs, but we've pretty much beaten him back into the jungles, everything should be fine. Gorgutz turns up, and suddenly, like, this, you know, they're trying to deal with the Imperial invasion, so like the orcs come surging out, very teched up, very capable, and the Tau are just like, I'm sorry, what?
How did this happen?
How? When?
When did
what?
this occur?
It was just like, because everything they've learned about orcs tells them, oh yeah, usually someone big comes from within the thing, so you just gotta try and pick off the strongest ones, etc., with assassination teams. They had no concept of, oh yeah, there's this one particular orc who likes to travel around, you know, basically turns up on planets, agitates orcs, gets what he wants, and then pisses off.
And to be fair, that is like uniquely Gorgutz. We talked a little bit about earlier on how, like, Gorgutz, to my knowledge, is the only orc who has successfully changed tribes. You know, like, orcs don't do that.
He's very good at because like we always talk about, he's very good at understanding how orcs function, what makes orcs ticks, how to motivate orcs, and you know, he's a very firm believer in that being their strength, not their weakness. But it also allows him to just ingratiate himself with the locals time and time again. Like on Cronus, he manages to whip them all into a very real threat to the planet. On Korrivar, much of the story is about the Korrivar orcs trying to impress him when he's really only there, as we learn in Dawn of War 3, to try and learn about something else while he's there, which again is like a really weird concept for an orc. But he was just like, he'd heard rumors about this weird scrap planet that seemed to turn up every so often in a giant iron, you know this forbidden planet with a giant iron cage around it, and he was like, all right then, I'm gonna go check that shit out, because that sounds like a good fight.
And while I'm there, like at least I know there's going to be good WAAAAAAGH material.
Like he ends up, I think ultimately, canonically, he ends up just leaving in disgust because Korrivar sucks.
I mean, he's the only one with any kind of sense there.
Yeah, he's very passive we'll see it in Soulstorm, but he's actually very passive. He has very few lines of dialogue, and I'm guessing that's because they couldn't get his voice actor. He spends a lot of time just going mute. It's like some dude just doing his voice, I think, but just like single words, and then just sighing and leaving at the end.
You know, I never played Soulstorm. Like, I owned it for a little bit for the multiplayer, but I never actually played the Soulstorm campaign, so that's going to be completely new to me.
It's gonna be an interesting experience. My general assumption is I'm like, people are gonna vote me to play is either the Dark Eldar or as the Sisters of Battle, and I think like in my heart of hearts, I think everyone's gonna vote for the Sisters because everyone loves the Sisters of Battle.
And it's not like they're ever going to show up again in like literally any Dawn of War stuff ever, because the Sisters don't get time in the sun. They just don't.
Well, they got their own VR game.
Did they? I actually don't think they did that.
Yeah, there's a Sisters of Battle VR game, and there's a new turn-based Warhammer 40k game, which I can't remember the name of. Oh, there we go, Ritual Suicide to free up WoW.
I need my entire cap. I have a quota to hit, and Slugga Boys are not part of that quota.
You giving me all this?
Yeah, Battle Sector, I think it's called. I'm just checking it out at the moment. Battle Sector. which is primarily about the Blood Angels, but I'm pretty sure there's Sisters of Battle units in there as well. It's a very, very well-rated game, Battle Sector.
I remember Battle Sector coming out, and I remember saying to myself, "Hey, that's something that I need to take a look at, and I need to look into." And then I just didn't, because you know, like there's a million other things to do every single day.
Yeah.
And but man, if they
premium.
got Sisters of Battle, that's a good reason for me to go back and look at it. I hate the pathfinding on this map so freaking much.
I hate the pathfinding on every single map in Dawn of War.
This map in particular is so outrageously frustrating. Just going from one side of those outposts to the other. If you want your units to be safe about it, you have to literally waypoint them through your base, because otherwise they're going to walk past those Leman Russ tanks every single time, and the Leman Russ tanks are still Leman Russ tanks. They are still very formidable.
Yeah, you need to take care of them the old-fashioned way. That is tank busters.
Yeah. So and if folks have been paying very close attention, they might have seen that my unit build is actually kind of restricted this game. Like they gave me a relic, but I don't appear to have a whole lot of building. I can't build a Squiggoth and all of this stuff. That's all true. Like that is all true. I can't build looted tanks. I can't get a lot of tier 2 upgrades. The heaviest vehicle that I can create is a Killican, and because of how constant the fighting is going to be once we get going, like I generally only use Killicans as my backstop to just be like, okay, this is what's going to keep me from getting punched in the back while I'm moving forward. Like beyond that, it's knobs, it's tank busters, and it's a couple of war tracks. Because you know, as we learned last mission, that dual weaponry they have is pretty sick.
The disruptive potential of the war tracks is phenomenal, and I can't remember if that gets like a mighty nerf for Dark Crusade or not. It always feels like they implement some like really cool thing, and then like Winter Assault comes along and like nerfs the unholy hell out of like chaos, so that like their chaos the chaos space marines just don't have utility anymore, and all this other stuff. It's just kind of wild.
Yeah, I could understand the rationale behind why they would do it. I don't think that's a rational basis though, because the orcs do so many things poorly in this game. Like they do so few things well. Like having war tracks is such a huge thing. I would prefer not to be rolling with any vehicles at all, simply because, you know, like infantry, I can always replenish by just hitting that reinforce button like it's a like and subscribe. But I would have to keep Gretchens around to keep the vehicles in the battle. You want to know what I'm not going to have time for? Marshalling Gretchens. Like, that is not happening here.
If only you could just call Krull a Grot and then get him to like build stuff for you.
Yeah, just like get to a Vox caster, and it's just like, "Hey, Krull, use a Grot!" And he's then there's just this constant stream of profanity that comes out of the Vox, and you just drop it and walk off to go make a squig sandwich.
I imagined Krull just suddenly shrinking, like, so he's like this tiny little Gretchen in cruddy Chaos Space Marine armor after like Gorgutz just yells at him so hard. It's just like this slide whistle just go, and he just turns into a Grot and starts building a tower.
Because what Gorgutz says goes. Even the very materium of the universe understands the rule.
They gotta go fast button.
All right, yeah, time to get in there. And war tracks back there proving why I brought them. Not just because they have great disruptive capability, but because I actually do need switch hitters over here, right? Like I have Leman Rust tanks. I have buildings that I need to hit. You know, like there's a lot of stuff that I need to do, and it's I've got to fly like very intent on getting into my face right now. It's incredibly distracting. Anyway, but yeah.
Nurgle.
Like you very briefly saw the detail about Killicans that I forgot here.
Did they load the rocket with the claw?
Yeah, and they pull the rocket from just this random fanny pack somewhere on their back. It's so adorable.
Yeah. I've always liked that. I've always liked that feature about when you mentioned Soviets, I thought this was probably talking about the rocket animation.
Yeah.
Which I'm very fond of. But that's a complete waste of an Ogren unit right there. Like, those Ogrens just shooting range. It's like, come on guys, that's not what you use an Ogren unit for.
I always appreciate those Ogrens sort of look like they're bopping out while they're doing it. It's like...
There he is. He's mad now.
Yep, so I gotta walk over to the center there. But because this entire map is a knife fight, I basically have to clear out this other area first. Otherwise, the Leman Russes are going to continue to shell me. And naturally, because...
There's more of them.
Yeah, and naturally, because I have amazing luck, Chaos decided that was the perfect time to make a sallying attack. So I get pinched. Of course I do.
Although it looks like they're running past you towards the Imperial Guard instead.
Yeah, they're sort of doing that. But,
they're not really sure what they're gonna do, but at the same time, it still gives the Leman Russ more targets to shoot, more you to blow up.
Like, do you see like the random stranded tank buster back here?
Oh yeah, that's Dawn of War 1.
Dawn of War 1.txt. It's just what happens when you have a knife fight map and a horde swarm power like orcs are.
Yeah. And it's just like they're it's like there's not much they could really do ultimately.
No.
With that, because just Dawn of War was big, units were big, the maps could only be made certain ways. They couldn't really, like, to a certain size, they couldn't really, like they had to choose between making them big, bland, open spaces or sacrificing, like, detail and factors like hills and things like that. And I think I prefer it for all of its janky, get units hooked up on thingsness.
It has character this way.
Are they destroying the Titan gun?
Yeah.
Are the Chaos guys actually destroying the Titan gun?
Yeah.
Why?
Don't.
Are they... Kroll?
Don't.
Kroll? Are you drunk, Kroll?
But that way lies madness. Like, the Titan
I've never seen him do that.
The Titan guns as a whole are so schizophrenic in this map. Like the two here are owned by the Imperial Guard players, so you can attack them or whatever. But if you leave them alone long enough, they end up getting owned by you, the player. Not that you can actually do anything with them; they're totally inoperable. This mission because nobody's caring to fix them, even the crappy way that the Eldar do. And the ones that you see further on are owned by like a neutral player that your people won't attack. But this was me just having my brain melt. That your people won't attack, but Chaos will, and then later on, like as like a goalkeeper gun, there is another one that is owned by absolutely nobody and doesn't affect anything and is properly just passive. Just like the semantics surrounding all of these guns are so incredibly weird and frustrating. I'm actually just going through and beating this one up. One, because it's something to do. Two, because if you don't, there's a specific problem you run into later.
Yeah, you won't be using these things to blow up the Necrons when they inevitably appear in this level.
No, like they're non-functional at this mission. You can't literally only exist to help move the mission along in certain situations. Like, and the first one is forcing Crawl to spawn. Like once you knock over one of them to something like 90%, like you don't have to beat up on it very hard for Crawl to be like, hey, stop that.
Damn your eyes, Gorgutz, please stop touching things.
Oh my god. There's still people dying for some reason. Like at this point, I was trying to figure out why knobs were dying, and I have no idea. Like they're just hanging out,
why knobs?
doing weird things.
Why knobs?
Why knob indeed?
It's like we saw all the boys suiciding earlier, and we were just like, hey, yeah, why not? Go for it.
We just wanted to be popular.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that this time I did get a nest egg to do some things with, though. Because like I am capable of building up a self-sustaining chain reaction if you just give me a couple thousand requisition. Like, it's not that difficult. Thanks, game.
Just give me throw us a little money, game. You know, don't be like this.
Oh my god!
You know.
Like, I'm still mad. Like, I'm still salty about that entire thing. Like,
I can tell because you had to go do this mission. Oh, here we go.
Necron boys, them's good killing. Hey, why isn't I got none of their skulls? Time to change that. Alright, all you Gretchen-loving orcs. It's time to introduce the Necrons to the war. Then we'll get Crow's skull for me stick. Beat 'em down till the Necrons go running.
You probably don't have the skulls because they teleport away once they've taken enough damage, Gorgutz.
I mean,
like they go back to the tomb world.
Maybe he's hoping that there will be a few just as decoration inside of the the monolith. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Yeah, so you just like I always liked it because all the other like and why I always would do it last is because it's you go through, you fight the Necrons and everyone else says we have to use the cannons to blow them up, and then the orcs are just like just use your guns, stupid, blow them up, use orc power like tank busters. Look at that.
Yep. As like the very first mission we did, the true power here is the tank busters. Everybody else is in there like mixing it up. They're getting glory or whatever, but it's the tank busters who are actually winning the day.
Mm-hmm. And not getting targeted in the meantime.
Just an entire friggin' line of them.
Yeah, well, you know, you throw that many at them and you'll eventually get one that actually hits. Because you can see for every, like, number that hits, the rest goes sailing off into the horizon.
Pretty much. And that, like, it's not even satisfying because like you hear some distant explosion or whatever. No, it's just this highly explosive rocket that's going to fall down somewhere.
It's probably an orphanage somewhere over the horizon.
So yeah, this is why I got rid of that one gun, because the second monolith shows up right next to that gun, and God help you if the gun if that Titan gun is still existing, because sure, okay, you might tank one or two monolith shots from it, but you want to know what the rest of your orcs are gonna do? They're gonna try to tear down the gun before they kill the monolith.
Yep.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's like hurting a bunch of orcs.
And of course, one of the curious things about that particular cutscene, again, like just as the weirdest herding cats sort of cutscenes that they must have been doing at this stage of development. It literally spawns a bunch of Slugga and Shooter boys and then lets you keep them, which is nice if you aren't taking up literally your entire cap with a bunch of knob squads.
Yeah. You just remind me of just from the cutscene. There's that one Chaos Space Marine that starts attacking the monolith with a knife, and then like a Slugger boy just runs up behind him and starts like hitting him in the back of the head with an axe.
This is what you bring to a fight like this. A big chopper, a proper chopper.
Mind you, if you're the guy that brings down a monolith with a small knife, or you know, a Chaos Space Marine sized knife is not a small knife, but you know what I mean. Like everyone's gonna remember that, assuming they live.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just it. It's a little bit like when you're playing the RPG and you meet the rippling tower of muscles, and you're like, think about how much XP we'll get if we kill it. Like, that's a big if, buddy. Matter of fact, that's not even an if. That's just wishful thinking.
Still time to operate. Send me to the boys. Oh, fresh meat.
Duck in.
Dock in. I actually end up liking the Mad Doc more than the Big Mech for this one, simply because the Big Mech's friggin' special ability cannot be used on the monolith, and there's a grand total of like 5 vehicles in this entire mission. Like there's the Lehman Russes, and then there's a couple of Predators. You saw a Defiler during the cutscene, but God help me, I've never seen it survive that cutscene. I have never been able to see it after the cutscene is over. It's just like, okay, well, I guess it's just ephemeral then.
Defiler more like a goodbyler.
Yeah, like I actually would have been scared of that Defiler as well, because it absolutely would have lobbed a whole bunch of artillery on my what are they called, tank busters, and like 2 good shells can absolutely just punk some tank busters, which would be really obnoxious.
Point us at the tank.
The Defilers are kind of flimsy against an anti-tank, but still, just they will drop a lot of death. Like I've played multiplayer games where someone managed to bamboozle me because they had one Defiler just at the back artillerying.
Yeah,
and I was just like, oh, all right, that's a thing they do that no one ever does except this guy. He beat me.
It's really easy to counter if you're looking for it and aware of it, like if they catch you napping, they will make you pay. I love that one dude there who has to live with it.
I got this, guys. Don't worry, I can take it. I'll hold this position for.
There's a reason why I left that. I just left those Imperial Guard positions because like if I did absolutely nothing, then they would be destroyed anyway. I don't have to worry about it. This is fine.
It's a problem with its own solution.
It's kind of refreshing because the Necrons are positively polite with how they come after you in this mission. They like each one will go for one of those tertiary points, and then they'll just sit there forever. Like the monolith will keep crapping out Necron warriors, but you know, it's never gonna come try and sit on your base. So it's really just a matter of how quickly you can handle the issue.
That poor Can trying to skedoodle around without getting exploded.
Yeah, well, I mean, literally the reason why I have him over there is because he can distract those things, so the friggin'
Big knobs.
knobs can get in without taking as much damage. Knobs are actually kind of funny here because it's such a wide area thing, but knobs are generally pretty hardy. You won't see too many of them die until like 2/3 of the way through, and then there you go. Like the second knob squad just loses half of its people. It's like, great, wonderful, thanks.
Yeah, but you know, like at the same time, the thing's so wide they can spread out pretty good, so they all get to DPS.
Yeah. Like it's all just like weird little quirks.
I wonder why they attacked. Yeah, the Eldar probably knew they did. Just the biggest. So it's just crawling me now. Time to play his skull.
This is what's so refreshing.
I love that.
It's what's so refreshing about this mission.
The noise you make me run.
Like I said, it's the most cathartic of them.
It's just, hey, all of this stuff is happening. I don't really care though. Like, I'm just gonna keep killing more.
Ready to attack someone who fights back.
Orcs is the biggest.
I love Kroll's like, how about you come over here at the other end of the map?
He's like, are
like,
you too
dude.
afraid to fight someone who fights back? I just killed the dude that you ran from, Holmes.
Yeah, he's going as far away as humanly possible. Khorne is just like face palming at this guy, and it's just being like, "Hey, you see this shit?" And like Scarbrand is like there trying to hit him in the back of the knee, and he's just like, "Can you stop too? Like, what is going on? Like, who are you people, and why are you so bad at your jobs? Is it me? Am I a bad father?" Well, the answer is yes. You're a terrible father, Khorne.
I mean, yeah, like that is objectively true, but still, by the same token, it is almost impressive to find a son so fail.
Eyes too big to be beat.
Like genuinely, like my feelings on it is like this is the kind of thing where Khorne would just be like, okay, I want someone to open a portal through that guy's forehead and send somebody else to do it. I don't care who, just like someone competent. Please assume this guy's role, because he is an embarrassment to me and everything I stand for. And like it's perfect. It's not like I can fault Relic for the character either. Kroll is quite obviously very consistent. He's shit.
Yeah, no, like it's not a failure of writing when somebody is a butt monkey. Like if they are written to be a butt monkey, it's not a failure if they're a butt monkey. And that's what Kroll is. He's a butt monkey. It's fine.
There's a very good reason he hasn't been able to conquer this entire planet in spite of the fact that it was just him and orcs for so long. It's because he's just like, he's like, oh, something's happening. Okay, time to build a giant shrine and pray in front of it and fill it with blood. That's like, dude, why don't you use your amazing forces to like attack enemies and kill them?
Yeah.
And it's like, but praying to Khorne, it's like, Khorne likes doers. He doesn't like prayers. It's like, he will reward you if you do good and then throw your arms up and say, I did that for you, Khorne. He does not go, he does not give you advanced bonus. He doesn't give you a bonus, basically.
He doesn't give you credit for trying. Like that's it. You go out and do, and then you're just like, hey, I did this thing, and he's like, cool, great work. Like it's just like, hey, there's this thing I'm gonna go do. Like Khorne doesn't give grants. Like he pays people. You want somebody who gives grants. You go talk to Tzeentch.
I will say though, like it does make me a little sad that we don't get to see Kroll just get turned into a spawn. That would probably be the best moment of it. You go to fight Kroll, and he just turns into like a unique Chaos Spawn model, and just lurches forward. And you gotta fight him, and he's actually a threat because he's like a big regenerating, damage-soaking psychopath dribbling around, screaming, "How have I failed?
How have I?" What would even be better?
He's doing the Gorgutz dance. There you go.
My brain's just melting right now. Like I
do the Gorgutz.
I almost lost an entire squad of knobs just because these assholes just sitting here. It's all just coming back to you. You thought about the last mission again, didn't you? Yep. Yep. Fortunately, like it happens in this mission, and it's just annoying. It happened in the last mission, and that could have been it right there. Like it very easily could have just been it right there.
Yeah, just walk it off. It's fine. Oh wait, you can't walk it off. You're stuck. Sorry. God. This has been a great mission just for like the weird stuff happening. You having to like deal with like the weird, because I never remembered the whole getting mad about the guns thing like that the orcs will do trying to fight the Necron thing. I don't remember that. I always seem to recall just attack moving directly over the top of them like a giant green steamroller, and just like nothing surviving. I don't know.
That is what happens, like, in general, just because, like I said, the enemy AI is extremely well behaved. Like, I actually don't think there's truly a way to lose this fight unless you literally delete all of your soldiers, because the only enemy units that will actually attack your base are those 2 squads of guardsmen, like every single time, right? And like one unit of Slugga Boys is more than enough to handle it. Like, it's not a big deal. Everything else will just hang out, wait for you to come to them. By the way, like, speaking of catharsis, the single most cathartic thing right there was just watching those knobs swamp the obliterators. Like, I don't know why that specifically tickled the monkey part of my brain. But, like, watching those obliterators just get stomped was definitely my favorite part of this entire.
I bet in your younger days of playing this game, you've suffered under the obliterator bullshit in your time, just having a couple of those milk your orcs or something like that.
That's I don't remember anything specific about that, but I mean that sounds reasonable. I did have one particular friend who absolutely loved playing Chaos, and he always pissed me off because he would not play to win, he would play not to lose. And there's a bloodthirster because of course, friggin' Krull would be like, we need a bloodthirster in here right now. I need the most elite heavy units to do literally anything. I realize I'm sort of the pot calling the kettle black here because I killed everything in favor of knobs, but I didn't sit here whining because I couldn't build a squigget, damn it.
He's basically, like, the Bloodthirster's just trying to, like, salvage this mess, and it's not working out so good.
He's doing his best, though, the whole like, swinging for the fences with that one knob.
See, dude, you did your best, but let's be honest. You were trying to make gold when you're working with paper.
Yeah.
This idiot.
This freaking guy.
There he goes, just like that.
His skull is mine.
I'll gut you. I'll send down Khorne's wrath upon your heads and boil the blood from your veins.
I'm almost sad he didn't go out with another eye thing.
I did it! I beat the other war bosses! The Imperial Umis, the Eldar, those Chaos Boys, and even them Necrons! That was a good war! And your pointy stick got plenty of them skulls! Those are pretty trophies! But what you gonna do next, huh, Warboss? There's nobody left to beat! That's right! I'm the biggest, baddest war boss on the planet! I wonder where the nearest other planet is.
Warhammer 40k Orc Space Hulk.
Dear, and it turned out the next nearest planet was Cronus.
Womp 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 womp.
Well,
for most
nearest
other people,
is relative.
Yeah.
He probably went way off course and ended up there by accident.
I mean, yeah, it's basically how orcs do. Like, I'm totally gonna do this thing. Nothing works out doing this thing. So and something else happens. You're just like, whatever. I'm gonna make the best of this. That's probably one of the reasons why I've always appreciated orcs so much. Improvisation is basically built into their DNA. And it's like, all right, well, let's make the best of this. That's very charming. Anyway, so that is the orc campaign. Everybody here gets to take a bow. And next up, I'm going to be doing the chaos side of mission 4. That's going to be overall much more straightforward because I have to do any switchback shenanigans like we did last time. And then the finale for Krull, which is that's gonna be so darkly humorous. Like just because it's Krull. Like even he's like, I'm the victor. Everybody's just going to be laughing and just like this is some garbage that's going through his head in the nanoseconds before he finally dies. Like, because there's no way this could possibly be real. He's way too much of an idiot.
He throws his arms up in the air and declares, "I am the winner!" And then his power armor pants just like dramatically fall down around his ankles somehow.
And then the like scene stealing Chaos Space Marine, the one that laughs in the background. Every freaking cutscene goes and then Krull turns around and starts demanding who that was, but he turns around too quick, so he just sort of falls over. And then everybody starts laughing.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't like everyone's eyes, because they keep watching him fuck up.
All right, well, until then, my friends, I have been Cool Guy.
I've been the Last Robot Guy.
Appreciate you all for hanging out with us as we have been doing this, and appreciate all of you for keeping with us as we continue this odyssey into the center of an orc's mind.